What's going on, YouTubers? This is Series 6 here, bringing you more Star Citizen content. Today is the start of my new combat logistics series. Each video, I'll take a ship or ship variant and break them down with you and explain how the ship boasts in logistics. As always, and with the current information released by CIG, I will give you an unbiased, in-depth description of the given ship. My overall objective is to give you a better understanding of the ship, regardless if it fits your playstyle. With this all explained, let us discuss our topic. Today, we hit the ground running with the Aegis Vulcan. The Vulcan is a medium-sized ship that refuels, rearms, and repairs both ships and ground vehicles alike. The ship was intended to be a starter ship for people who enjoyed playing a support role within the verse. So think of this ship as the jack of all trades, but master of none. The ship has its own berthing and a small mess deck for the crew. All of this is enclosed from the cargo bay, allowing the crew to roam freely without having to wear their spacesuits. The Vulcan comes with a handful of liveries at your disposal, allowing you to customize the ship for the role you are playing. The ship crews up to 3 people. This includes the pilot and 2 support staff to either man the guns or to control a drone. Speaking of drones, the Vulcan is equipped with 4 drones to do the heavy lifting, but only one can be controlled directly at any given time through the use of a control console, making a total use of 2 drones being controlled directly at any given time. In order to use all 4 drones requires some micromanaging. We'll have to manually fly the drone to the target, program it to do the task, and then switch to the next drone to repeat the process. Once the drones are complete, they'll remain idle till you control them again individually through the control console. Once you gain control, you can fly them back to the ship and set the control drone to do another task. Each drone can only perform one given task at a time. So if you wish to rearm instead of refueling, the drone will return to the ship, get the items it needs, and then go rearm the ship instead. The drones also have a maximum control range. As you approach the edge of the range, you'll be warned to make a choice to either return or continue at your own risk. If the drone exceeds the range, then they will slowly stop responding until they're completely unresponsive. Simply coming back in range is enough to return them to their complete control. Now, let's break down the refueling role. The refueling role of the Vulcan is not what you expect. The purpose as a refueler is not to completely fill tanks, but instead to provide enough fuel to get you to a proper refueling point. Think of this as roadside assistance. The Vulcan has 2 dedicated medium-sized quantum and hydrogen fuel tanks, and as an additive has a large fuel tank on the belly that is segregated with 2 external medium-sized fuel tanks for the purpose of refueling both fuel types alike. This gives the Vulcan a total of 5 fuel tanks. Even though its intended purpose is not to top off ships, you can still fully fill 8 to 10 small tanks, 2 to 3 medium tanks, or half a large tank. But remember, filling a tank will require multiple trips of the drones. Now let's talk about rearming and repairing. The current volume of cargo is 2 by 2 by 3 SU, which is a total volume of over 12 cubic meters of space to fill with ammo, ship items, or cargo. With 12 units of cargo space, it seems like the Vulcan won't have much versatility for re-equipping ships rather than just with ballistic munitions and small-sized missiles. So, missiles ranging from sizes 1 through 3, for example. It also is important to remember that the bigger the ammunition, the more cargo space is expended. If I was to change anything with the Vulcan, it would be this part of the ship. I would put in a bigger cargo bay, giving the ship a little bit more wiggle room. So instead of 12 SU, make it 24 SU. The player will have a decent amount of munitions for rearming and components for repairing ships. And when it comes to repairing another ship, the Vulcan can be either filled with generic items to allow faster response to people in need, or a tailored order if you are assisting one person who lighted an assistance beacon. On a positive note, the Vulcan will be able to perform minor repairs to itself and the drones if they become damaged. But again, please remember that the ship was designed to either limp you to the closest facility so you can do heavier maintenance there, or to do a simple patch-up job like a hull breach or to remove and replace a degraded ship component. Even though it is multi-role, the Vulcan passes the bar for each role as bare minimum, and that's about it. The Vulcan overall doesn't put the Starfarer or the Crucible out of business. All this ship is providing is a taste of what is to come, and of course flexibility. If in fact you found out that your niche will be either repairing or refueling, then upgrading to the more professional ships might be the choice for you. The ship overall will be great for combat scenarios, both space and ground support too. Giving ground troops the ability to repair and rearm a Nova tank or an Ursa rover can be very useful. The ship is heavily armored and can fend for itself. The future flight characteristics will also make the Vulcan more useful within atmospheric conditions, such as transitioning between planets in space, along with being more maneuverable on a planet. I personally picked up an LTI Vulcan because I focus more on a support role. If you are a logistics person yourself, the Vulcan is a great starter. And then later on you can go buy the professional model and fly with the big boys if you choose to. If the video was overall helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, share it, and tell others about my channel. But with that being said, I'll see you on the flip side.